This is a recording of this year's Virtual Residency Fair. We'd like to take the time to thank the programs that volunteered their time to present to this year's applicants. This year's PM&R Scholars Virtual Residency Fair is supported by PM&R Recap and Ultrasound Guidance. PM&R Recap is the leading resource for your physiatry board preparation, clinical preparation, audition rotations, and beyond. PM&R Recap offers 35 hours of review videos, hundreds of review questions, and oral board cases to help you become the best physiatrist that you can be. Head to pmnrrecap.com to learn more. Ultrasound Guidance is the innovative new online ultrasound learning platform that gives you instant access to expert instruction. With rapid scans and complete scans of every joint and peripheral nerve, Ultrasound Guidance is the perfect way to jumpstart your MSK ultrasound learning. Visit ultrasoundguidance.com to learn more.
So you want me to start, Jake?
Yeah, go ahead and kick things off. I'm going to see if I can't get this in a better looking view for the...
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I'm Dr. Scott Stahl. I'm the residency program director for the Texas Rehabilitation Hospital Physical Medicine Rehab Residency in Fort Worth, Texas. Jake is going to spend a few minutes kind of going over the detail, but I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm a DO and a PhD and been in academia for a lifetime, and then I've been out for a while, but now I'm back in. We have a brand new program, and we just accepted our first 6 PGY1s and 6 PGY2s under a whirlwind application and recruitment and interview and acceptance program through the match. But we're really excited with the group that we have, and right now getting ready to bring in our second group of PGY1s, which I guess is why we're doing this today. But we also got Maria here. Maria, if you want to say something, and we'll let Jake go on with the invitation.
Sure. Thank you, Dr. Sol. Hi, everyone. My name is Maria Hamoud. I'm the residency program coordinator. Thank you so much for having us. We're really excited to share what our new program has to offer. And with that said, we also have 2 of our residents on the call as well, so I will let them introduce themselves.
Hey guys, my name is Harminder Sandhu. I'm one of the PGY2s.
Hey everybody, my name is Atif Ahmed, another PGY2. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys all for being here, Atif and Harman for jumping on with us, and I'll kind of get us kicked off here. I'm Jake Daggett, the DIO for the program, and also the CEO at Texas Rehab Fort Worth, our primary training site. So we'll kind of talk a little bit about the structure of the program. I know Dr. Stoll alluded to a whirlwind year, and it has been. We achieved our initial accreditation for the program in January, and then jumped right into recruitment. So we'll talk a little bit about where our intern year training site is in relation to our primary site and what all the rotation sites look like. And it's a nice sunny day, as you can see here in Texas, as it is often this time of year. So that sun's about to go down. I think maybe halfway through this, we'll kind of get that glare off the screen. So we'll fight through it for now. So a little bit about us. This is our inaugural class is actually. So Dr. Stoll mentioned we did recruit 6 PGY1 residents that are training at our partner facility, Texas Health Harris Fort Worth. It's a 700-bed level 1 trauma center, comprehensive stroke center. We'll talk a little bit about what that first year looks like. And then our PGY2 class is rotating through us and our sister inpatient rehab facility here in the area. Our primary site, Texas Rehab Fort Worth, with 66 beds. We are a CARF accredited specialty programs for stroke, brain injury, spinal cord injury, and that diagnostic group represents about 65 to 70% of the patients that we treat. So mentioned our partner facility, which is about 2 blocks adjacent to us, really after they achieved their level 1 trauma center has really seen an increase in volume, acuity, and just the overall breadth of rehab patients. So very much aligned strategically with what we do and specialize in, and what our partner site does. We're right downtown, I guess south of downtown Fort Worth, which is now, I think, officially the 12th biggest city, independently of Dallas. So we're very definitive of that when we talk about the DFW Metroplex. So really a growing area, a growing medical district, and we're right in the heart of it. A couple of highlights from the program. We are a 4-year program, mentioned that. So that first year really a pretty in-depth experience at our partner site. So going through internal medicine, neurology, trauma, ortho, ED, digestive health, neurointensive care, and a number of other sites that we kind of tailored. I guess that was kind of the unique thing with us having an existing JV partnership with a large provider here in the area. We were able to go through and say, kind of, what does that first year look like? What is the most preparatory for PM&R, but also beneficial to them in a holistic sense, in the sense that they're able to come on board with confidence coming into their second year and be able to treat some of these medically complex and neurologically complex patients. And so we feel like we have a good balance. Obviously, that's subject to tweaking as we go along with this, our first class. It's kind of a highlight really of the program, and where we're at right now is being able to kind of take some input back and say, this is working really well. This is, maybe we can tweak a little bit and go from there. We do have 12 affiliated rotation sites, which is, in speaking with some of the ACGME surveyors, is quite a few. I think that's to our benefit. Really, it gives a lot of, again, breadth of experience in different settings. Several of those sites are our own core faculty or program director and Dr. Stoll sense clinics. Some of them are outpatient sites that are affiliates. We'll talk a little bit more about those in a second. We have 6 residents per class. We'll be recruiting this upcoming cycle for 6 PGY1 residents as everyone kind of matures through the program. And another unique aspect is we are about a mile location-wise from University of North Texas Health Science Center, which has a large DO medical school, but also has a large allied health program, burgeoning nursing school, and a pretty state-of-the-art simulation lab. We have an academic partnership with them. So in addition to library access and then some of those academic resources, we also have some access to some of those unique sites of training, and are working on opportunities to kind of tap into that when it comes to sim lab, anatomy lab, ultrasound training, and the like. So here's our complete list of sites. The Balch Interventional Pain and Wellness Center, also located in close proximity to us. That's one of our associate program directors, Dr. Robert Balch, goes by Trey. He and his wife and brother, all physical medicine rehab physicians, believe it or not, and run, in addition to their many variety of practice settings, the pain and interventional pain clinic there. So our residents will have an opportunity to work with them in different settings. Center for Neuroskills is kind of a unique training site here for brain injury, post-acute brain injury, and long-term brain injury recovery. Unique to Texas, and I think California are the only 2 states that it currently exists in, and that's we have several physicians that are involved with them in different sites. They offer residential brain injury up to day neuro and kind of work reintegration. Cook Children's Medical Center, which if you see kind of behind my window here is directly located in the parking lot behind us. Great relationship with them, and they are one of the preeminent providers here, just not only in Fort Worth, but really from Fort Worth beyond out to West Texas, and inpatient, outpatient, currently undergoing a revision of their inpatient rehab center. It's kind of a swing unit with long-term acute beds, inpatient rehab beds. We're looking to continue to expand services with them, inpatient, outpatient. JPS is our county hospital. We've got several rotation sites with them, some of them being limb salvage, amputee, occupational health, and the sports medicine clinic with them that also partners with Texas Christian University, TCU, here locally with their sports med. They also have a sports med fellowship, so just thought I'd put a plug in for that. Dr. Stoll's Neurodiagnostics Clinic, also very close to our primary site here, focusing on EMG specifics, and I can let him answer questions related to that. Mentioned THR, Harris Methodist Fort Worth, that's our partner facility where our PGY1s will train. Texas Orthopedics is sports med, non-operative. Our sister facility, Texas Rehab of Arlington, ourselves here in Fort Worth, and then USMD Clinic, Fort Worth, Clear Fork, which is rheumatology. So a variety of options right off the bat. A little bit about Fort Worth. So you'll see in these pictures a couple of the sites we talked about. Texas Health, Harris right there. I mentioned a couple of blocks from us. Cook Children's behind my back here on the camera. That's the pediatric site. JPS, John Peter Smith, is our county hospital, also level 1 trauma. So lots of acuity and a variety of experiences available through them. Maria's put some nice pictures of Fort Worth and the iconic Fort Worth stockyards there up in the top right. And then bottom right there, you can just see really kind of where we're located up here, this little red dot here. Cook Children's, Harris, JPS is just off the map here. And then if the map expanded just a little bit, you'd be able to see a couple other sites right there. In terms of program leadership, you got a chance to meet Dr. Stoll. Dr. Robert Balch, one of the 3 Balches associated with the program, is our associate program director. He and I and Dr. Stoll really have done a lot of the prep in leading up to this program being built. And Dr. Balch was heavily involved in didactics. I mentioned his interventional pain. He's board certified in pain, but also practices in a variety of settings. And so as residents rotate with him and get to see kind of what opportunities are out there, I think a really unique experience to see a variety of sites. Dr. Bridges, most of his career, he trained here locally, actually. He's most of his career has been in inpatient rehab. He's been our medical director here at Texas Fort Worth since it opened. Also was affiliated with Texas Health at one point. Tremendous asset when it comes to understanding how to manage medical complexity, work interdisciplinary with lots of variety of consultants, not only on the medical side, but on our team, PT, OT, nursing, kind of combining all of those into a treatment plan that makes sense for patients. And then Dr. Hillary Ryder is our site director and the internal medicine program director at Texas Health. So she's kind of our key point of contact for our first year, our PGY1s, as they go through their training during their internship year. A couple of highlights on the benefits. So we are partnered with Texas Health, but as part of a large parent organization, can offer quite a few benefits. Competitive salaries were very accessible, even though we are downtown kind of medical district Fort Worth. We have on-site parking, meals, gym membership, also in conjunction with our partner that's within walking distance here of the facility. So some of those kind of wellness things that can help to make it a little bit easier as you go through your training program, readily accessible, easy to get around. I would say in general, I know we kind of skipped over the Fort Worth slide, but really an easy place to live. I've lived here for almost 30 years and low cost of living compared to a lot of places, a variety of different areas, pro sports teams, all of those activities that people like to be a part of are available and accessible. Curriculum highlights. We do have protected didactic time. It's every Wednesday as of this recording. So we'll meet as a group in the afternoons and kind of go through a variety of topics. Our goal, and as we're kind of leading up to this and prepping for it as a team, has been to prepare our residents to be well-rounded, be prepared for boards, get to be able to ask questions in kind of a one-on-one or close-knit setting. So that's kind of how it was designed. We do have dedicated research days. I mentioned some of our partnership and went through all 12 sites. Several of those do host research days. So throughout the year, those will be available and encouraged as we kind of get into our mentee mentor program and start working on some research. There are several opportunities here locally. We also do encourage research at the national level. Mentioned, I think, on a previous presentation, AAP, PM&R, heavily tied to those as well. The SIM Center at UNTHSC, very cool. We didn't put the link in here, but we can certainly send it out. It's kind of the first of its kind. We've had an opportunity to, Dr. Stoll and I and Dr. Balch and Maria, to walk through there and really see what they have to offer. And I think the possibilities are endless, and they're just kind of getting their feet under them in terms of what the technology can be used for. Workshops for EMG, ultrasound anatomy lab. Dr. Stoll and one of our core faculty are board certified in EMG. We do have EMG here on site as well as ultrasound coming. And so in addition to what we'll be able to do kind of through the clinical part of our rotations, we will offer some workshop opportunities. And then Journal Club, clinical cases and grand rounds are a key part of it. Being able to teach and learn sometimes is the best way to immerse yourself in the information. So we believe heavily in that. A couple of educational highlights. So mentioned AAP, PM&R, AAP memberships, training and certifications, subscriptions, access to the on-site library and electronic access as well for UNTHSC. Being prepared for the board, obviously we know that's important. And so board review course as it gets to that time. As I think the previous presenter mentioned, yearly travel up to the point where presentation is involved is accounted for. We want everybody to at least attend. We really want to encourage presentation and involvement. So that's built in. And there's also a yearly educational stipend that's kind of discretionary for educational needs. Here's some fun stuff that Maria kind of has helped to coordinate and put together. We are a new program, but already have kind of hit the ground running with some different activities. Fortunately, for all of you that never had to suffer through an outdoor baseball game, we have an indoor baseball stadium now. So that's us in Top Center in a nice, cool AC baseball environment. We've got some different things coming up, including an open house where this being our first year and not offering visiting residencies, we're going to be kind of putting ourselves out there and offering opportunities for people to come visit us. And so there's a couple of dates there listed. You can find us on LinkedIn, Twitter, all the places for more details on that and how to be a part of it. There's some fun pictures of everybody eating some churros. First day, our opening dinner at Riata, which is kind of a staple here in Fort Worth. Our partnership with Ronald McDonald House, which we're looking at kind of a community service opportunity. And then I think Maria's got some boba plans, it looks like, for August 16th coming up. Here's some links and tags on how to keep in touch with us. We're trying to really communicate effectively through all the channels. Very responsive at that email address there to Maria. Through our website, we'll constantly be updating that. Same thing with Twitter and LinkedIn. We want to engage and be available to everybody. And especially as things change with kind of it being a new program, we want to stay in the loop and also keep you guys in the loop on what's going on. I guess I'll read this on Dr. Stoll's behalf, even though he's here with us. So just his gratitude for being a part of the program. I think we all feel that way. The faculty and as we've kind of seen this thing come from just an idea into fruition, we're really invested in this community here in North Texas. It's growing. Several of our faculty are alums of local training sites and medical schools here. And really, physiatry is changing, and the patient needs are changing. The medical complexity, the trickle-down effect demands on healthcare to be able to help patients improve quicker, get home at a higher functioning level. That's all of our calling, and so I think he encapsulates that well here in this statement. And I think really touching on working together in the last piece, that's what physiatry is to me in a nutshell. Not a physiatrist by trade, but have been here most of my career, and I think the interdisciplinary aspect of what PM&R does and what rehab does in bringing groups of clinicians and caregivers together to really design a plan for these patients to improve their lives is kind of the sweet spot of healthcare. So excited for you all to have the interest in it. And that concludes us. And I think, Maria, if you want to kind of handle the chat questions, if there are any.
Sure. I think we're almost out of time, but really quickly, one question included: what opportunities exist for residents to engage in community outreach initiatives or participate in underserved patient populations in the Fort Worth area? I think we touched.
Great. Yeah, we touched on it a little bit. So you talked about community outreach, and I think that's just burgeoning, but we do have a contract with our county provider, John Peter Smith, typically an underserved, uninsured population, and we're able to treat them here. There's also clinic opportunities through them. So I would say natural connection there.
Okay. The next question is, how confident does the program feel when preparing its residents and performing MSK physical exam?
Well, we have several of our core faculty, and that's kind of the unique thing about our faculty, I think, is that they are all practicing in various practice sites. So we're kind of tailoring didactics and preparatory information around those that are the subject matter experts and have practiced that in their career. So we feel very confident about it.
All right, and the next question, what does the curriculum look like for each year?
Okay, I'll kind of generally speak to it, and I alluded to it previously in the presentation, but we're building the curriculum to make sure that we're touching on every topic that we feel is relevant, adding insights, clinical pearls, and really, again, aligning subject matter experts with those topics so that it's coming from the source. Obviously, there's some kind of front work with various readings and journal clubs, but we also want to bring in those that have practiced and seen it and felt it to offer their insight.
All right, and let's see. Do you offer rotations, clerkships to visiting IMGs?
I think to be determined, but we expect to in the future, yes.
Okay, are didactics done virtually where other med students can attend?
Didactics right now are in person. I think there's definitely opportunity. We have a pretty great educational space and have already, had some discussions about being able to tap in and do some shared didactics and kind of really reach some keynote speakers that may not always be available. So I think vice versa, attendance from other med students is a possibility.
Right, and next question, do residents get sports coverage?
Sports coverage. I'm not certain what that means, Maria.
There is a sports medicine rotation, and
Sports med, okay.
And the residents are expected to attend sporting events as part of their sports medicine, if that's what you're asking. I'm not sure if that's what it was directed to.
Perfect. And if you need us to elaborate more on that, you can just send a follow-up question. Next question is, could you please share some insights into the initiatives or efforts the program has in place to promote diversity and inclusion of residents and faculty?
Yeah, I think as we sat down and looked at that, we really started with faculty and have a pretty diverse group of individuals from various parts of the country, various backgrounds, and culturally diverse to start with. And so as we entered our first recruitment cycle, it was a really natural thing, but standardizing assessment forms and interviews and being able to look objectively at it to make sure that that's a key component of it was most important to us.
I think it's fair to say that diversity, equity, and inclusion are a key core value for the program and for the faculty, the staff. If you were to look at the profile of our first two classes, very diverse, and so are our faculty, which I guess you can see if you check out our website and the faculty. But just if you don't want to take my word for it, but so.
Okay, and let's see. Will you be offering rotations for visiting medical students?
Yes. So it kind of, I think, touched on it just a little bit, but the open house is kind of our transitional opportunity for those, since we weren't quite to the point where we're able to offer those full visiting rotations. But I think the plan is going to the next academic year, those will be available.
Definitely. And just to touch on the open house, obviously by the name, everyone is welcome. We don't have a virtual option at this moment, but that might be something we consider. It'll be here at Fort Worth at our primary location, Texas Rehab of Fort Worth. The first one is going to be on Friday, August 25th from 1 to 4 p.m. So that'll be a good opportunity to speak to residents and faculty in person as well. Let's see, how strongly does your program value geographic ties to the region or signaling prior to interview selection?
Quite honestly, I don't think that was a consideration. I think as we went through the interview process, and again, just going back to objectivity, we really wanted people that, well, I'd say that we wanted people that wanted to be a part of the program for the right reasons. And And we're very transparent throughout the interview process with what we have to offer, including what, the Fort Worth area is like for those. But I think, if you look at, again, back to Dr. Stoll's comment on just the diversity within our classes, there's a variety of geographical locations and training backgrounds throughout the 12 that we brought in. So while it's, a factor, I think it's, just one of many that kind of factor in objectively to how we look at it.
Yeah, we first and foremost want, the best candidates, a broad representative of the community. Yes, we're trying to build a pipeline bring physicians into North Texas, but we also know that there's a need nationally. And Life Point is the hospital which really started the residency as a national hospital chain. There's probably 40 different freestanding rehab hospitals in cities around. They looked at Fort Worth, by the way, and chose us to start their first PM&R residency program because of all the advantages of North Texas and Fort Worth. And so really, since they're a national chain, they're happy to have the pipeline bring people in, anywhere across the country. So we want to get people from all over.
Yeah, that's a great point, Dr. Stone. I know we didn't really touch on it during the presentation, but our network is pretty broad reaching. We have facilities up and down the West Coast, East Coast, Florida, Midwest, and throughout, even Montana, Iowa, throughout the Mercy system, all joint venture relationships. So that's a network that absolutely will be available to our, future practitioners.
Great. And sorry, Ms. Hamoud, Dr.
No,
Daggett,
you're
Dr.
great.
Stoll, thank you so much and please, there's many questions in chat as well. So please, if you'd like to stay and kind of address the questions in chat, we'd be happy
I've been trying to do that as we go along.
but
Best I
love
can.
to thank you for your time.